happy Friday. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today's weekly video, I just wanted to talk about my hair. A lot of people sometimes ask me, not so much on here, but in person, what do I do to stretch out whatever style I have? So right now, I would say that my styles last about anywhere between 5 to 7 days, which is really progress for me because when I first started to transition my hair, it was about 3 days, and then after that it was just a hot mess. So I wants to do their hair once every other day. I think that one of the struggles with being natural is figuring out your hair's regimen and also the time that it might take up to do it. So I think minimizing weekly time is a great thing, which is why I wanted to share some of the tips of how I get my hair to last throughout the week. First tip that I would give to you guys, I'm really just going to talk about my wash and go styles. It's really the same process for my twist outs, which is what this is, but I'm going to talk about the wash and go. So I like to air dry my hair for a wash and go. I just find that sometimes when you're using the diffuser, it can create a little bit of frizz. Mind you, I do use a diffuser, especially if I'm rushing. I'm not about to sit here and just let my hair air dry, but I really do try sometimes to let it air dry if I'm doing it on a day where I'm off or I'm home. That way, to minimize frizz. Tip number 2, I do not pick out my hair. I know we all love big hair. I'm not about to be like flat hair is in, but I don't pick out my hair at all. I've done it for video purposes just to kind of show you what it looks like in full volume. But on my own day-to-day basis, I don't pick it out because what you're tending to do is you're lifting the roots and creating frizz there. And as your days go on, that's really what's going to get frizzy. So if you leave your hair alone, you start to notice that by the 3rd or 4th day, what starts to lift up? Your roots. And it just gives you, like it elongates the time period as opposed to you doing it on the 1st day. And then by the 3rd day, it's just, you know, out of control. Same for twist outs. I don't pick my hair. The only thing that I will do is separate my curls to make it fuller and kind of shake it around, but no picking at the roots because I find that just kind of stops any time I'm gonna have with my hair. So my sleep method, there's so many ways I think on YouTube that people sleep with their hair. I know a lot of people are fond of pineappling, which is great, and when my hair was longer I did do that, but I think the question you really need to ask yourself is what you want out of your hair. So if you have a lot of shrinkage, pineappling is great, but if you don't have that much shrinkage or your curls are a little bit more fragile, I wouldn't always suggest pineappling because what tends to happen is you're pulling that hair and you're stretching it, and then down here, if you don't have like a coil, this starts to come really straight, and then that also starts to look nasty, so you have to switch it up. So what I like to do, because my hair is shorter and I know what I need for my hair the next day, is I think like when I'm sleeping, what's going to happen overnight that I don't want to happen or I'm going to have to revert in the morning. And what tends to happen to me is as I'm sleeping with my bonnet on, my hair will push up. So when I go to sleep at night, I'm like, I pin it down. I take bobby pins, I pin it all around. And for whatever style, depending on where my bangs are, I leave that out because the bangs I feel are really fragile for me and have a tendency, if I just tuck them under the bonnet, they get like scrunched and out of shape, and it's really hard to kind of revive them in the morning. My next tip is moisturizer or oil. So I do this normally, but really towards like the end of the week is when I go kind of heavy hand and I do like a coconut oil and my moisturizer because that's when the frizz starts to kick in, and the more moisture you put in the hair, the less noticeable the frizz is and the more the strands start to stick together. So the oil and the moisturizer really come in handy when it's getting towards the end of the week. And my last tip that I wanted to give you guys is just, if all else fails, and I usually do this around the 5th or the 6th day, and I notice for the most part, the back of my hair usually really stays intact a lot more than the front does. So instead of just redoing my whole head, on the 5th day, I literally take my bangs down, put some water through it, put the product in, dry the bangs, and it almost looks like I refreshed my whole style as opposed to rewashing my whole hair and doing the same thing. Pretty much it, guys. That's literally the tips or the tricks that I do to get my hair to last 5 to 7 days. Having natural hair is a wonderful thing, but there are days when you're just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be spending an hour doing my hair, detangling, all that stuff. So these are just some of the tips that I think would make it easier for you to style your hair and have it last throughout the week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next week in my next one.